Welcome back to NewsMakers. We are with Alec, Neill, Joe Kane and Denis O'Rourke. Well, Monday is likely to be the day that the government responds to the Law Commission's recommendations on liquor reform. Of course, the likes of Professor Doug Selman are expecting the government to honour the thrust of Sir Geoffrey Palmer's recommendations. But are the likes of Professor Selman going to be sadly disappointed? First of all, what do you want the government to address next week, Joe?
I want them to be really tough on this. I don't want them to find a mid-ground and then lose some of the traction that we have and we could actually get on this. It was interesting at the Health Board, we discussed this just at our last board meeting, and we look at it from the health perspective, and the stats just don't weigh up. I think what I've been really disappointed about this whole alcohol reform is that as a collective, Canterbury had actually supported, every local body had supported the lowering of the blood alcohol, and that was supported by each of the LAs, and yet we seem to get this. It's the beer barons. I actually get it now. I actually understand why there is a resistance. They'll do it to the tobacco. They'll go in and grow it and put the prices up and make it. But the beer barons are actually in control. So I don't think they're going to have, quite honestly, the balls to actually do what they need to do. The science is there. They need to get in. Not this 50-50. Oh, we'll split the age. Would you like to be a policeman to try and actually do that? Let's get tough. Let's actually start thinking about the harm that this is doing in our society and do something about it. Where you go. Tell us why.
Joe, for a woman that enjoys a spot
I said I had a compliment
and a pint, and I've been with you at the Belgian bar, and I can attest to that. I think, look, I play tennis every Tuesday night, and after the tennis, I have a couple of beers with my mates. If they do some of these things that are being suggested, we won't have the beer. But it was the beer that makes us play the tennis, and then my health will deteriorate. I'm no longer fit, and so look.
You
as far
guys
as I'm
are 18 or 20. You're allowed to drink.
We are. But I sat in Parliament on both occasions when this matter was debated previously. On both occasions, I voted for 18. We've got this absolute obsession, an absolute obsession, and Joe Kane's a typical example of this, of that everything's the fault of those between 18 and 20. There are some wonderful young people that are between 18 and 20 that are totally responsible. There are a few scallywags that blow it for everyone. And I'm saying to Joe Kane, look, when I was 18, I was responsible. I would have loved to have been able to go and have a pint with my brothers. I couldn't. But now that those that can, good luck to them.
Perhaps you need to come with me into A&E and come with me down the strip and have a look at what our young people...
And therefore it's time we started talking to the parents about parenting.
No. Well, you
parenting,
need to...
they go and buy half a dozen bottles.
This is what this is about. This is trying to stop that.
Do you realise why he can fail?
Because
you and I
would
argue about these.
This was our leadership, for heaven's sake.
It's healthy, good, honest debate out in front. We're not going behind the door like Bob Parker did.
Beyond the 18 or 20 issue, I know that Professor Doug Selman and many of these alcohol health campaigners say, look, New Zealand's binge drinking problem goes way beyond the teenagers. What can the government do next week if they want to try and address this issue?
Why would the government go to so much trouble to get such an excellent report, get it crystallised, get some actions that they can take recommended to them, and then not follow them? I mean, that's ridiculous. Those are good recommendations. They are workable. They'll make a difference, and they should be carried out. I tend to side with Joe on this. I don't think...
That's a first.
Well, it could be, but it's only because you're right in this case.
You've become a wimp, Denis.
No, You've become a wimp. It's the other way around.
You used to have strong views on things.
It is exactly the other way around. I actually think that some firm action does need to be taken on this.
Because you're now over 60 and it doesn't affect you.
No, that's not the case.
It doesn't affect you.
It's not the case. It is because this has been something that has been ignored for decade after decade. It's getting worse and worse.
You can't tell me that all the problems of New Zealand
are solely because of the 18 to 20-year-olds.
But
it is because we are not conditioning people, we're not educating people, we're not helping young people to learn how to deal with alcohol.
Absolutely.
And it is alcohol use which is the problem.
You've got nearly every health leader in New Zealand supporting the recommendations and the support. The tragedy will be if we do... I agree with you, Denis.
OK, Alec, let's suppose Joe and Denis are taking the wowser argument.
Yep.
Beyond parental responsibility, what else are you suggesting is the solution?
Well, the solution is education on the effects of things like those popsicle things that they all buy. Now, parents at the age of 16 buy their daughter half a dozen popsicles. 3 other girls, parents do exactly the same. Only 2 of the girls drink, so they drink 12 each instead of the 6 that mum gave them. They come home paralytic. That's the problem.
Education can't do it alone. It's got to be balanced by regulation and enforcement, and it's got to be...
We are over-regulated in this country.
Regime.
We are absolutely over-regulated in this country.
We are badly regulated. We're over-regulated.
We are terribly over-regulated. I've just come back from China.
The regulations are already there. They just need to be improved and made to be workable, and that is what these recommendations are about.
Have you been to Manukau? Forget China. Go to Manukau and have a look at the dairies and then the liquor, like all the bit and the supermarkets.
No, that is a different issue.
But that's in this action plan about the access of alcohol, where you can get it from, where you can drink. In the supermarkets, you just actually have to see what's actually happening. The ease of access in the supermarket means, even in the older ones, is that their choice is between buying their family the bread and the milk or the dozen Steiners.
All right. We'll have to leave it there.
Not good enough, actually.
Thank you very much for your passion on this matter. Coming up, we will have a look at the issue of the ACT Party and their future. Also, does the northeast of Christchurch need a new local school? Do stay with us.